This is Vinnie Brand, and you are watching Vicki and Vinnie live-ish. And today's show is brought to you once again by Victoria's Strata Italiano. The restaurant keeps getting better and better. Go there. You're going to love it. That's an image of it right behind me on the screen. Also, our good friends at Misunderstood Ginger Whiskey. Go to Victoria's Strata Italiano and get yourself a Misunderstood whiskey drink. Fall is here. Have a hot, what is it, toddy? Hot toddy. I don't even know what a hot toddy is made with, but go have some delicious Misunderstood Ginger Whiskey.
Hello.
Hello, Vicki.
Hi. So,
Are
Peter,
we recording? All right.
Yeah. So Peter went through and found us some topics to talk about today.
Boy, first you have to say what we are. This is Vicki Vinnie Live. You have to do your intro.
Oh, hello. You already did it.
No,
So,
I did the promo.
Where are we today?
Vicki, I'll tell you something right now. I think it is only appropriate that we spend some time on the warm beaches of Jamaica.
We've never been to Jamaica.
Okay, let's spend some time on the warm beaches of Naples, Florida.
Or, here's my other favorite, Turks.
Let's go to Turks and Caicos.
Yeah, I love that place.
Turks and Caicos was a lot of fun. We were there when Messi was there. Anyway, we're in Turks and Caicos today. I don't know where you are. I woke up this morning, it was 47 degrees. I turned the heat on last night for you. Mm-hmm. And I think it's fair that we tell people how good your life is. So I get up every morning. I'm the last one out of bed, so I make the bed. Yes. And so when you get back upstairs, the curtains are open, the bed is made. And then like last night I had to go to a zoning meeting. So I turned the bed down for you. I lowered the curtains and I turned the bed down. You live.
I married a bellhop.
Bellhop.
Married a bellhop.
I don't think a bellhop turned down, but I get your point. But how nice is that?
It is very nice.
And I said to myself the other day, how can I make Vicki's life even better? And what we're down to, your life is so perfect. We're down to turn down service.
It's just a dreamboat.
Tell me something. When you go to bed, you're exhausted.
I will say, it's one of the things. Like if we make it till about noon and our bed isn't made, I'm always like, fuck it, I'm not making it now. Too many hours to bed. I'm not doing that. I'm not working. But it's funny because I have a very close friend. We have a very close friend, our friend Karen, who insists no matter what time the bed has to be made. And so she tells a story of when Frank was asking her to marry him, that like he had made the bed, so she knew something was like off, because even if she was going to get in bed and the bed wasn't made, she would then first make the bed to unmake the bed. It doesn't make any sense to me.
That's a psychological disorder. Karen has something wrong with her. If I get to bed at bedtime and the bed isn't made, I just dive in. The only thing that annoys me then is I can't get the sheet to blanket ratio right.
Well, I fix it before you come up.
You fix shit.
I do.
You're the worst. You hog all the pillows.
I do not.
Yes, you do. Don't make me get into this. Let me just say one thing. I just started turning the bed down last week. Yeah. And I said let me tell you what went through my mind. Mm-hmm. This will be amazing for her because you're so beat when you go to bed.
I am tired. By the time I go to tired, because I like to get up at least
at the crack of dawn.
Yeah, I like.
You know who got up at the crack of dawn and got him in trouble?
Who?
Tony Orlando. Anyway, go ahead.
Tony Orlando, the singer,
got up at the crack of dawn and got in trouble.
Is that a song? Is that a song? It is a song?
No.
It's not a song?
Tony Orlando and Dawn. He got up at the crack of dawn. Tony Orlando woke up at the crack of dawn and got in trouble because I don't think they were married. Would you Google that, please? Was Tony Orlando married to Dawn?
Who's Dawn? Your ex-girlfriend? Vinnie did date a Dawn Noah for a year and a half before.
She's watching this podcast.
She's not watching. For a year and a half before we dated. Mm-hmm. That is a funny story, too. Another time I will tell that story of how we met.
We will not tell that story of how we met.
That's a knee slapper, that story.
We're gonna put a pin in that story right now. Put a pin in that story so we don't get sued. So was Tony Orlando married to Dawn? So he wouldn't even have gotten in trouble. You wasted the whole joke. Not trying to figure it out.
I didn't get it either. Noah, did you get it? Why is Noah mute today?
I'm not mute. I'm just not talkative just yet.
Just not yet. It's only 1:37 in the afternoon. He's just not ready to talk yet.
Why'd you involve him? Well, I didn't even need him involved yet. So we have a big show today.
Yeah.
And let's get into it. I have not seen any of the topics. I am speaking extemporaneously. know what that means off the top of my head as thoughts occur to me. I know.
Wait a minute. Where's Vishnu? Aren't you supposed to be doing a podcast with Vishnu?
Vishnu is traveling today. We're doing a Vishnu podcast next week. Vishnu is traveling to Mumbai.
Get out of town.
Well, he's Indian. I don't know where he's going, but Mumbai sounds good. Wherever he's going, there'll be a lot of Indian people, so you might as well be in Mumbai. I want to go to Mumbai.
Yeah. Okay,
I do.
Okay. So, well, we might be traveling, fingers crossed, to Australia next year.
I don't know. I'm so nervous about that. I'm so nervous, but I want her to do it.
Mm-hmm. Our one daughter might be doing a study abroad program. She is applying to Spain, and she does have a few friends going to Spain. But her other friend, Will, is there currently, and he's having a blast.
In Spain or Australia?
Australia.
Listen, Australia's got to be amazing. All right?
Yeah.
And I hope she goes there because we'll get to go there. But that's a longer trip. It's a longer flight. She's my little baby. I'm not ready for her to be away. Spain is, hip hop and you're there.
Yeah. Well, that's how I
Plus, you feel like you're in Spain. If you just drive through like Perth Amboy, you get the feeling of being in Spain or whatever.
So maybe she could do a study abroad in Perth Amboy.
I would have loved that. I would have loved that. So she wants Australia, huh?
She really wants Australia. That's where she wants to go. She wants to surf there.
I don't want her surfing in Australia.
That's what I said. The Great Whites.
No, I don't want her surfing. I hope she failed out of school. I hope she failed out.
Fingers crossed.
I don't want her in Australia if she's going to surf.
Yeah, well, you know what? That's who she is.
No. No, I don't. No, I'm putting my foot down. That's not happening.
Yeah, you're going to really be able to watch her from here?
No. What I'm going to be able to do.
I see you.
Nope. I'm going to be able to put a stop payment on the check that pays for all that bullshit. Okay. I'll figure that out real quick. Listen, if you go to Australia, I don't want to surf, and I really don't. I really don't. No, there's a lot of shark attacks in Australia, right?
Sharks, but also just other animals that can kill you are there. There's
in the water?
Many. Not in the water, but Australia has like unbelievably amount of poisonous and just. Kangaroos will kill you for Christ's sake over there. Like it's.
Why would you say it to me? I'm already paranoid about it going. What?
Well, I'm just helping you. Like Australia's not the place.
No to Australia. Suddenly, I want Noah to go to Australia. Yeah, I want her to do Australia. Maybe we can get her into an area where there's no surf, like Auckland. I think is inland, but I'm not sure. Is Auckland inland?
Auckland is in New Zealand.
That's even better. What a condescending producer.
Yes,
right?
It was.
Condescending, rude thing to correct me on. I'm telling you right now. I want a dumber, smarter guy. Dumber that no information I don't have, and smart enough not to correct me in front of people.
I hear you.
Auckland is New Zealand. What's inland in Australia now? It's all on the coast, isn't it?
Any civilized place is going to be pretty much the coast. Because inland Australia is like where all of those other creatures reside.
Where the dingo ate my baby.
Exactly.
That really happened, though.
All
right. Michigan State has been in trouble a lot lately.
Michigan State is a disaster, and they're trying to deflect onto Michigan with their nonsense about sign stealing. I got my own sign right.
I still don't. Okay, we're going to get back to the sign stealing in a minute because we talked about that this morning. But Michigan State, first you've got Mel Tucker and a bit of hot water.
A bit of hot water. The man did an awful thing.
I want to say a pot of hot water.
He's in a pot of hot water, but he's done. He's already done.
He's done.
He's not in legal trouble, by the way.
But he's not in legal trouble?
No, there's nothing illegal about doing that. He's saying that he did it, and she's saying it was unwanted. I don't believe you could press charges because, listen, there's a lot of holes in that story. All right? First of all, if someone is, okay, what he did is he masturbated on the phone with this girl that was part of a very serious organization to prevent student athletes from committing atrocities on young women. But the girl's story, there's a lot about the story that bothers me. So he started doing that. You don't hang up the phone?
Well, how'd she know he was doing it?
Well, then how'd she know he did it?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. In other words, there had to be some moment where she knew, and then maybe she hung up the phone. I didn't read the report. It doesn't matter. From Michigan State's standpoint, you got to fire Mel Tucker.
No, you got to fire
I agree with that.
Right. So then we have that.
Yes.
Then in the University of Michigan versus Michigan State game, that one player did that not nice thing to the other player.
Did you see the play now? There was an interception. Mike Sanastrell, I don't know how to say his name right, returned it for a touchdown. His second, I believe, of the season. He's amazing. He'll be an NFL star. And in that play, a Michigan State player threw a Michigan player to the ground. That was fine.
No.
Then when the guy was on the ground, prone position, face down, he speared him from behind. Show the play, Noah. Show the play. Look at this. Okay, this is from behind. This is right in front of a ref. Right in front of a ref. So it's head-to-head spearing contact. It's all of those things and ejected from the game.
Well, it was also upsetting because last year was the year that Michigan State got in a fight with Michigan in the tunnels, correct?
Was that? Yes, that is correct.
That was last year. Yeah.
There's a lot of animosity between these two teams. It goes beyond good old healthy Michigan's better than Michigan State fervor. And Michigan State fans, I think 21 Michigan State fans were ejected from the stadium Saturday for fighting and attacking University of Michigan fans. Now, all of this is happening in the shadow of the sign stealing, but even bigger shadow, if you ask me. Go ahead, Vicki.
Is during the Michigan versus Michigan game.
Michigan State versus Michigan.
Yes.
Michigan would be two University of Michigan teams. It's Michigan State, Michigan.
Okay. The Great Michigan, which is where our daughters go.
Yes.
Versus State. There was a picture on the
Jumbotron.
The big digital board of Adolf Hitler.
Adolf Hitler in the pregame.
Question: where was he born? I don't understand. Well, I mean, there's so much to unpack here, right? Like, I don't understand though why the "where was he born" statement. I don't get that.
They were playing trivia. Mm-hmm. There's a trivia contest they do before the game.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Peter left. Oh, a crowd-wide trivia competition. Okay.
Right now, in the big house, in the pre-show, they show Michigan highlights, great plays by University of Michigan football program. Right. Michigan State does not have that type of highlight reel. And so they have to do fan trivia. And so I think with the story, they're trying to say now that someone in the stands, in the stands, you can hashtag in. But there's 56,000 people in the stadium at that moment.
So you can hashtag in an image because it's an image of Adolf Hitler.
I believe you can. I don't know for sure, but it doesn't even matter. Somebody at Michigan had to choose that image. It's not auto-generated.
Yeah, you would have to choose because honestly, otherwise anyone could say whatever they wanted.
Correct. For example, someone could throw up a picture of Hitler. And that would be a problem. And in the light of what we're looking at right now in the world with anti-Semitism and everything else.
And everything that's happening in Israel.
Everything that's happening in Israel and Palestine. All of the tragedy. Any image of a noted hater, if you put up David Duke, it would upset African-American people and Jews and anyone that was hated by David Duke. Hitler, of course, hated gays, Jews, Christians, paraplegics. I mean, Hitler hated everybody that wasn't Hitler.
I just can't believe, though,
he had a crush on my ex-wife. Anyway, go ahead.
I just can't believe somebody thought it was a good idea to put him up.
Well, I think someone in the stands said...
Even if somebody is in the stands, like you said, there's a gatekeeper that's allowing that. Otherwise, anybody could put whatever they wanted up.
But I think someone in the stands said, let's see if this happens. Like they did it almost like a goof. And then when it went up, if you had the picture of the stadium somewhere, there'd be 5 guys going, oh my God, I don't believe it. I did it. And so you would know someone had to gatekeep because someone will put up porn. Someone will put up all kinds of stuff. So somebody at Michigan State decides, good old fashioned, who doesn't want to know where Adolf Hitler was born? I mean, it's mind boggling. And this is the same school that had the gymnastics coach, Larry, whatever his name was, years ago, convicted of touching gymnasts.
Oh, that's right.
Yes. Listen, it can happen anywhere, but it happened at Michigan State.
Yeah.
It happened a lot at Michigan State.
That's crazy.
The football program's a mess now. One of the captains may enter the transfer portal. And
They actually are surprised. I was listening because you have sports news on a lot.
I do, because I'm a man. For now.
Questionable. So they had sports news on, and they were saying yesterday that they're surprised that there's not more people in the transfer portal trying to get out of Michigan right now, because I guess they opened up the parameters about whatever happened with Mel Tucker. Again, I don't know sports. I know I said this was going to be the year for me, but I crapped out. It's like the bed being made. I'm crapping out. And
like the day you were watching highlights and said you were watching the game. I'm like, Vicki, that's not a game. There's a highlights. The uniforms keep changing. You're watching baseball, basketball, football. It's not one game, honey.
So, but anyway, they were saying that they had anticipated more players would transfer out of Michigan, and so far it's not the numbers they thought they would be.
Well, here's the thing. Listen, the athletes are really paying the price for what Mel Tucker did. And those guys, they're all top athletes. I mean, there's no bums.
You don't get to that point unless you're a top athlete.
Correct.
Yeah.
And so I feel bad for the Michigan State players. But you enter the transfer portal, you have to be able to go somewhere. So I'm not 100% sure of this, but let's say now the interim coach, who looks a lot like Mel Tucker. He doesn't, but he does.
Yeah, it does. Mm-hmm.
Like if you only saw Mel Tucker once, the new coach might be confused, but they don't look alike at all. But whatever. But this guy stepping in has to try to maintain a team and recruit next year. So it's a mess for him because Michigan State, this could literally set the program back. It could be 7 years, 8 years. What they'll need is a turnaround. They'll need to hire a highly respected coach. I don't know the name of the interim guy. He probably very well respected. That's the guy that, if they name him full-time head coach, they should pay him a ton of money because he's inherited broken china.
Right. Yeah.
And so.
No, I agree with you. So can we move on to the sign stealing thing? Because what?
Yeah.
Well, because University of Michigan is being accused of having an employee.
A low-level employee, a low-level staffer, that's what they're calling him.
Who bought tickets to a bunch of games.
30 games.
Memorized the signs.
Well, videotape the signs. If you had memorized them, well, I guess you're not allowed to scout in person. So, yeah, either way, okay.
Right. Anyway, he saw the signs, and now they're saying that Michigan had an advantage because he did this. But you're allowed to watch the person do the signs and trying to figure them out in real time. Right?
It's a very nuanced thing because if you're trying to figure it out in real time, you might not be able to figure it out because you might see one sign and then try and remember. I think you need to analyze the play to see what 11 defensive players do. And so you could see the sign and maybe watch one guy, but without video analysis, you wouldn't be able to know what the other 10 guys did. You're not a savant.
Right. So if you were going to, let's say, just rewind the game because there's not a camera trained on all the coaches at all times.
Right. The signs wouldn't necessarily be there.
The signs wouldn't be there. But I still don't understand why you can't go to a game. It's your free time. Why can't you videotape?
You are a true Michigan fan, Vicki, and
I just think it's stupid. Why can't you videotape?
All of it's stupid in a lot of ways. Because first of all, I believe with all my heart that the NCAA, this is rampant stuff. This is going on everywhere, right? Yeah. And that's not, they did it so I can. They need to just change. Now, I didn't know this. I didn't know high school athletes have technology in the helmet. You can eliminate all the signs by putting a speaker in the guy's helmet. That's what the NFL does. There's no signs in the NFL. Now,
There's not?
No.
When did they stop that?
I don't think there was ever this type of signs in the NFL. In the NFL, you'll see a coach on the sideline, and he calls the play in like this. He'll say, because someone could be lip reading, slant 32 on 1.
Right.
Now you know the count, the play. So the head coach frequently calls in like this.
I see that.
Okay. Now, I don't know why anybody hasn't developed a permanent thing right here. Just there all the time, right? Like anywhere you go, a guy could be saying, fuck you, Vicki. Like you wouldn't even know I said it. because Noah's an asshole. Like, no one knows what I'm saying.
Except I'm right next to you and I can hear you.
Hang on. So anyway, no one would know if you had a permanent thing. That's my invention. If someone sells that to the NFL, I want my royalties. A simple thing like this to cover the coach's mouth. They all have earpieces. They all have microphones anyway. So the microphone, this is my mic.
Yeah, just right around like that. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. All right, that's the Vinnie brand protection device. So in any event, in high school and pro football, they can radio into the player.
Shut up. Yeah. I wanted to invent that years ago when Maddie was running or playing soccer because there was plenty of times I wanted Maddie to wear an earpiece so I could tell her what play to do.
I remember that.
Yeah, I would say that all the time when she was like 12. I'm like, I wish that I could talk to her at the same time. And because when Maddie was running, we used to run to different spots and tell her how she was doing in the race.
You know that right now, you could probably do that. You could probably get that done if the kids were allowed to play in, like what I'm wearing right now. You could talk to me.
Right. So
that's cheat.
Well, in running,
no, seriously, that's cheat.
In running, you're not even allowed to wear a watch.
Huh?
You're not even allowed to wear a watch.
But you could have a phone on the sideline. My phone connects from a distance. Let's cheat. Let's get Cassie wired up.
Cassie's 11.
Yeah, let's get her wired up.
Mm-hmm.
Why wouldn't we?
Well, I'm just saying it would have been helpful.
So I don't know if you guys had watched the, I think it was 3 years ago, the Astros. They learned the signs from every player, and they were wearing buzzers on there so that way the players would buzz in to show them what pitch was coming, where they were going to throw the next ball. Like
who was doing this?
The Astros.
Was that illegal?
Oh yeah,
that was a couple years ago.
Oh, yeah. That was heavy. Like they would make sounds from the dugout. I mean, they were super extensive. It's kind of like if you ever heard about like the Patriots doing it with the Jets, a long time ago. I mean, what was that? Spygate.
Bill Belichick.
Bill Belichick.
Right, cheated against the Jets.
Oh yeah.
That's like me entering a swimsuit competition against Noah and trying to, like, why even cheat? Put my Speedo on and win.
I just don't know why that's cheating.
Huh?
I don't know why it's cheating if you're doing it publicly. So why is it cheating?
You're just not allowed to, seek advantage.
Mm-hmm.
They want, now, to me, it's all very silly. And now Michigan had a number of games with this alleged sign stealing going on,
right? That
they were losing in the first half and then started winning the game. Now, to the casual observer, it would look like the coaches went in the locker at halftime and said, "These are the adjustments we need to make. Let's go play some football," and we go out and we kick ass. All right, that's what it would look like.
Couldn't he talk to them in their helmets?
No, the NCAA does not allow the helmet thing.
Oh, it's high school and pro.
Right. And so there's a coach in college football right now, Matt Rule, I think his name is. And he said, look, this is simple. Let these kids have an intercom system. Because apparently in the intercom system, what happens is you have a certain amount of time to call your play in. And then the intercom system automatically shuts down. So you can't continue to talk. You could not be in a quarterback's ear when someone's coming up from behind him and going, move right, like they do in Mission Impossible movies.
Right,
okay?
Right.
Which I want to talk about in a minute because we started watching it. And I know it's not on our list, but I need to show the clip. I need to show it because it's so over the top and I can't wait to watch the rest of the movie. Anyway, so this thing with Michigan now, I read a thing today. It cannot impact on their ability to play in the NCAA championship should they get that far this year, because once the investigation begins, they have 90 days to respond, and that will take us to post-championship game. Mm-hmm. Now, for whatever reason, the NCAA does not like Jim Harbaugh. No. They've been after this guy 100 times. They've never gotten him, all right? Now, I don't know Jim Harbaugh, all right? I know he wears himself very well in public. He comports himself very nicely. A little strange duck sometimes. Am I boring you, Vic? I'm so tired. Let me just give you a pinch.
I'm so tired.
Not a very good ad for the mud water today, is it?
Sorry.
Have yourself a mud water and grab a nap.
Sorry.
It's a coffee replacement.
I know. I need more coffee.
So Jim Harbaugh has had a sign on his back, a target on his back for whatever reason for a number of times. What's the name of the guy that the low-level staffer? It's a C name. And I read today why Noah's looking for it. Now, I don't know if this is accurate. You never know. You never know because what happened in the internet, people just start throwing up flack. So you never know what the truth is.
Right, but also Michigan, though, historically, this I do know about them. Historically, they're the comeback kids. Yeah. They've always been the comeback kids.
In Michigan, listen, it's a storied program. And again, I'm not saying since Charlie did it, Jane can do it. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is coaches seek advantages all the time. Right. Okay?
Right.
Back in the day when we played high school football, our coach in the locker room at halftime, everyone got a little line of Coke. And
that'll get you going.
Just enough to get you going. Mm-hmm. Just enough to get you going. And in the opposing team's locker room, we would Quaalude their water, which is why we were the second half kids. Please wake the hell up.
I'm sorry. I'm so tired. I'm just not sleeping.
Someone said today that he brought those tickets and donated them to returning veterans.
Aww.
If that's true, if this guy can demonstrate that he gave tickets to returning veterans, this will all blow over. And that'll put a whole different shine on it.
Yeah.
And so
Connor Stallions.
Yeah, there you go. And did you see the thing about the veterans? Someone said it today. I don't know what to believe and what not to believe. I do know you have to stop yawning during the podcast.
Sorry, I'm so sorry.
So bad.
I'm really sorry.
Well, there we go. So we've covered Hitler. We've covered Michigan. Let's cover just for a second. We started watching. What's the name of the Mission Impossible movie we're watching? Mission Impossible. The latest one. It's a 2-part movie.
Yeah, but I just heard the second part was supposed to come out next summer, and now it's delayed another year because of the writer's strike.
And they used writers on this thing. This is the most ridiculous.
Well, there's one scene.
Dead Reckoning.
That's it. Part 1, Dead Reckoning. So there's one scene where the U.S. government, it's like some people from the U.S. government, are chasing Tom Cruise through the airport.
Who is from the U.S. government?
Yes.
Different division.
Yes, different division.
He's from, what's this? He's called the...
IDF?
No, Vicki. Holy shit.
IMF.
Can we edit that IDF out, please?
Oh, my God.
Let's start. I'm sorry. Let's start.
The IDF wishes they had Tom Cruise. That's for sure.
No, we're gonna cut that out.
Cut that out. Cut out the IDF.
So
leave it in. That's funny as hell. You didn't say anything rude. You just slipped up. He's from the Impossible Mission Foundation firm, IMF. Impossible Mission Force. Impossible Mission Force. I'm sure of it. Impossible Mission Force. He's going to keep looking because he's going to doubt me. It's the only F it could be. What is it? Say it.
Impossible Mission Force.
Say it. Vinnie, you were
right.
Again. So he's from the IMF, and the government is chasing him,
right?
Even though he's from the government,
right? And they're in an airport, and then suddenly, I don't even know how it happens. Suddenly, he's on the roof of the airport running across.
But it's even goofier than
You're
that.
like, what?
It's even goofier than that.
How the hell did you get up there?
Yeah, they're looking all over for him, and he somehow gets up on the roof. But it's the goofiest, campiest thing. And I have to believe that they did it for camp. Because they have to know how stupid that is.
Yeah.
How campy. And the government guys, who are really government bad guys, good guys, whatever, and they're like, we just can't find him. And behind them, in the skylights, you see Tom Cruise sprinting across the roof of the airport. And nobody in the airport goes, hey, what's that guy doing?
Right, okay. Right.
Nobody with a Starbucks cup. What's that guy doing up there?
Yeah.
Now, that scene bad.
Yeah.
But worse than that scene, in perhaps the worst spy scene ever, it actually reminded me of Tropic Thunder. It reminded me of Ben Stiller. Mm-hmm. You know the scene I'm talking about? No. Yeah, okay, so now think about Ben Stiller in Tropic Thunder, how goofy and over the top it was.
Yeah.
So here's a scene in the airport where Tom Cruise has got to contact a known thief, a girl who gets mixed up in this. And weirdly, she's a young, good-looking girl.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's weird when that happens. She's a young, good-looking girl. A lot of young, good-looking girls, they turn to spycraft because it's much easier than just posting naked pictures on Instagram.
It is.
Much easier.
No OnlyFans there.
Yes, no OnlyFans for her. So, but she's a pickpocket, and she had picked the pocket of another guy And Tom Cruise now wants to confront her because she has what he needs. And this is the scene where he is apparently picking her pocket in real time like an up-close magician. He's waving. Look how ridiculous. It's the most ridiculous scene in the history of film. He goes, are you looking for this? And he's got it. And she's like, oh, how'd you do that? Where's the ace of spades? It's the most, do you know the scene? No, you got to play the scene. It's just asinine. Now, I like the movie because I've managed to get past the point.
You managed to get past the point where they're all in a room and he's supposedly this one person and then he takes off his face.
Right.
And now he's Tom Cruise and he's gassed the whole place.
Yes.
And the guy that he let say, like the guy that he didn't gas, says to him, how are you going to get out of here? I'm going to alert everybody.
Yeah.
And then he puts on a mask just like that guy.
Yeah, well, it's so goofy.
Yeah.
So when he uses a gas bomb and the one bad guy doesn't go down because somehow he got a breathing device in when the gas bomb went off. It is the most ridiculous. And then Ving Rhames talking them through the airport.
Yeah.
They're looking for a nuclear bomb that has gotten by security. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, on my last trip, my toothpaste was too big. Yeah. Okay. And they got my toothpaste. This guy gets this size nuclear bomb through security. And the guy from the IMF is going to decode the bomb because the bad guy has not only put a riddle. It's a riddle. It's a cylinder. It's so many goofy scenes. And I do know you're supposed to suspend
disbelief. Yeah.
But in this particular thing, the bomb has 8 cylinders that turn. And Ving Rhames goes immediately, that's 1.4 billion combinations. Like, how do you even know that?
Yeah.
Right? Now, the guy wants to turn the ring and do it. And he goes, oh my God, it's a riddle. And he goes, what do you... And so each cylinder is a riddle. And now the guy is decoding it with riddles. It is the dumbest great movie. Anyway, you got to watch it. It's such a fun movie. I like suspending belief. I told Derek about this. And Derek said that he was watching the new Godzilla film with his wife. And she's Vietnamese. What is she?
Filipino.
Filipino. So, those movies resonate with that part of the world. Uh-huh. So, but they do. They're Japanese horror films. And so they're watching the movie. And Derek has the same problem I have. He has to be real. And they did a halo drop. And Derek said to his wife, that's ridiculous. That guy could never do a halo drop. You need specialized training for that. And he said that his wife looked at him and goes, the halo drop bothers you. But the gigantic lizard coming out of the ocean, that's 100% fine. And Derek's like, yeah, well, And I totally relate to that.
Okay.
So it brings me to my new favorite segment.
Yes.
I
Yes,
love
it is.
this. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
You know why? Because I'm the one that spends all day long researching funny videos, or as you like to call it, being a teenager.
Scrolling. That's what
It's
you do.
great stuff on the internet. Great stuff.
Yeah.
Not to mention Vinnie_brand. So Vicki, you've not seen this yet. This is one of the many reasons that childhood should go back to the way it was. Mm-hmm. Now take a quick look. This is a couple boys playing. This really makes me laugh. Watch the reaction of this kid. Now look, 4 boys, 1 gets loaded into the cart. Mm-hmm. Okay. 5 boys, 1 loaded in the cart. Give it a good push. Right across a busy street. And his arms go up in complete victory. Let's see the replay. Here we go. It's coming down. Good push. Look at his face. He's so excited.
Yeah.
And then they hit it. And boom. Up and over we go.
Oh, my God. That's so funny. And I'm assuming it was an adult
Door
video.
comes off in the car.
I'm assuming it was an adult videotaping it.
Yeah, of course, right?
Yeah.
Had to be an adult.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Had to be.
But the kid does have a helmet on, so that's good.
Yep.
I like that. I like that one.
That's a fun one, right? No one got hurt. The kid's in a helmet.
Yeah.
And here's where you're teaching kids. You don't need a cell phone to have fun. You need a cell phone to record and post to get millions of views. Sure. That's a totally different thing. And now we have another one coming up, and I have not seen any of these.
So just pick one at random.
You pick one.
We're only going to do one.
Well, we already did. Let's say, these are always dangerous. Here's a guy doing a wheelie. He loses the bike. Oh, okay. He's up. He's hurt. Wow.
He doesn't have a helmet on, does he?
That is a tough. Oh my God. Okay, listen.
All right, you know what? He should start with
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise in the next one. Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you how tough that looks. And now the next day that guy's leg was good and bruised up.
Oh, sure.
And I'm glad this one didn't involve someone
I tripped up the stairs. My whole toe was bruised. I can't imagine.
That looks like a hell of an impact. Let's watch that one more time because I really like this. He's really flying.
He's in trouble right there.
On?
He's
down.
On his face?
Now here he's struggling for a break. Can't find it. Hits the side of the car. Does a somersault. Bike's on the ground. Up he goes. His friend slows down just enough. Doesn't really stop. Yep, he's up and good. Let's go. What an amazing thing. Now, the bad part is, for this guy, he did damage to that car.
Yeah.
Someone's car got banged up. Let's do one more. I really like one more.
All right.
Package thief? Package thief.
Let's do package thief, yeah.
Let's do package thief. Here we go.
I hope an animal gets him.
No, I think there's a booby trap. I could be wrong. Guy coming in, he's blurred out there. I like it. I do like it. I do. Play that again. That's not a bad thing at all.
No.
Now, he doesn't see the bucket up there. How'd the bucket get tripped?
They must be watching.
Oh, that is a great. Yeah, I like that a lot. I like that a lot. Gives him a good old fashioned dousing. Listen, don't FA and you won't FO. Fuck around, find out. I hope you enjoyed our podcast today.
Bye.
Next week, we're up and running.